Hello Flickering Myth family and welcome to our channel. My name is EJ Marino and ooh girl, I got a movie to talk about with you all today. I am excited, I'm thrilled, I'm nervous. Oh yeah, we are talking about the first big production to come from the RuPaul's Drag Race universe. We're going to be talking about Stop That Train. This movie is for the people who love RuPaul's Drag Race, and I'm not just talking like, oh, I casually like it. If you remember when Willem said bar queen, if you are a fan of Untucked when we had the Interior Illusions Lounge, if you know deep cut references, if you can do all of Shangela's Sugar Daddy speech, this movie's for you.
You don't have any talent. This is a show for talented people. You should not be here.
I will whoop your ass. Bitch, I am from Chicago.
Why are we yelling?
It is corny, it's cheesy, it's not great, but all of that made me love this movie. I really needed Stop That Train. I don't know if it's just because I was having a rough day or if I was just really in the mood for a dumb comedy. And I don't mean dumb in the meanest way possible. I mean it's just the gags were so stupid, but they're so funny. Like legit, there would be joke after joke. I would just be like, that worked. That worked. There's a gag with RuPaul and possibly hitting a kid with a train. Oh my goodness. I laughed out loud every time that was referenced. I will say most of this movie really did work. Now, when you are doing a comedy, especially me, comedy isn't always my go-to genre. It's not a genre I feel comfortable in. You know, I'm more of a horror fan, a thriller fan. So with comedies, if you give me 100 jokes, about 75 of them are going to land. Here, I will say about 80 of them landed, and the ones that did not land definitely were not my favorite. There's a couple characters and a couple actors we'll talk about in a moment that just didn't work for me, but I will say I really appreciate Stop That Train for even existing. This gave me a lot of the old parody movies that I really did like. I'm talking a lot of like the Dracula Dead and Loving. I'm talking about None Teen movie. You even looking at not so parody movies straight out, but things like the Brady Bunch movie or the Addams Family Values. Movies that were unapologetically stupid and fun and goofy and didn't take themselves seriously, but knew how to approach that type of vibe. When you're making a goofy, over-the-top movie, you got to take it serious by not taking it serious. There's just a balance to have that is so hard to do, but this movie finds that exact balance, that exact tone that makes this worthwhile, that makes this such a fun viewing. You could easily be hypercritical of Stop That Train. Again, this movie is banana cuckoo pants crazy. The CGI is rough. We found out it's not AI generated or generative backgrounds or whatever. It's just rough, cheap looking CGI, which again, I'm fine with. I'm not here for the special effects. This isn't, you know, Avatar, The Way of Water or Fire and this isn't one of those big Hollywood productions in that way. So I can excuse some rough around the edges. And again, some of the acting is cheesy. I think there's people like Ginger Minj who gets outclassed by people like Jujubee in Brooklyn Heights. And there's people like, what's his name? I'm looking on my list. Brian Jordan Alvarez. No, his character's bad, he's not good, none of that worked, but those moments are few and far between. Like, where I said, like, Ginger Minj, I think, is getting out-acted, out-comedied by other people in the cast. That's not to say that Ginger's test character is completely useless, is not fun. There was moments I had with each and every character, except for Brian Jordan Alvarez, who, again, I just did not like the character. I know people have beef with him in real life, which those are all justified feelings. I'm not saying none of my feelings have anything to do with that. I just found this character to be cringe and annoying. But yeah, this is a movie that I really could be hypercritical, and if this has a negative score on Rotten Tomatoes, I wouldn't be shocked, because it's going to fall into critics who don't normally like these type of movies, who aren't down to clown. That's exactly what this movie is. If you're down to clown, if you're there to be silly and goofy, I'm talking clown drag, I'm talking giving me crystal method, that's who this movie's for. It's for the weirdos, it's for the freaks, it's for people who love RuPaul's Drag Race. If you like an acting challenge on RuPaul's Drag Race for how good and bad, you know, think of Kamora Hall going, we're all rooting for you, we're rooting for you. You know, if you're thinking about that, opulence, if you remember any of these gags and can tolerate that, you can tolerate Stop That Train.
I'm Tess. One time I ate a magnet and got stuck to a flagpole.
Dee Dee, I was born with adult teeth.
What is the plot of Stop That Train? Well, it's exactly as it says. We must stop that train. There is the Glamazonian Railroad that is being run by Brooklyn Heights and her group of evil minions with Simone and Marsha. They're basically like the flight attendants, the stewardesses on this train ride. We have new people coming in, which is Jujubee and Ginger Minj's character, and they're all trying to survive this crazy incident as the train is heading towards, like, I don't know, the Stormaganza, that this massive storm that's only happened once every 100 years or something. Yeah, it's a wackadoo plot. RuPaul's the president. Again, all of this sounds like a fever dream, and that's what the movie ends up feeling like, but it works. I mean, President Judy Gagwell, RuPaul had me cackling with this character. She is so on it. Like, I have not seen Ru this alive in a drag race setting in quite some time. Like, sometimes when you watch RuPaul go, and then may the best queen win, sometimes her arm goes down here, and you're like, ooh, RuPaul's not feeling this episode. This was up. This was Ru feeling it, and it shows. There's a commitment to it. There's a fun being had here that it's easy, but when everyone else, when, you know, Adam Shankman, the director, is getting all of his talent, like RuPaul, Sarah Michelle Gellar has some of my favorite gags of everyone not recognizing her, not paying attention to her. When all of that works, you feel it. You are able to have as much fun as the production wants you to have, and I really, again, appreciate them for being goofy, but not being unserious about their goofiness. Really owning this, living in this wacky world, and really making it work. This movie is definitely a cameo fest. I mentioned Brian Jordan Alvarez, Sarah Michelle Gellar, we have Joel McHale, we have Nicole Richie, Raven Simone, Chara was in here, Michelle Visage. There is so many big names here, and they all play a fun part. I would have loved to see a little bit more Lisa Rinna. I would have loved to see a little bit more drag queens. I think that is one of my only complaints here. Yes, we do get a lot, like Injera is here, well, like I said, Latrice being in every role possible. Latrice booked and busy as she is in real life, and she is in this movie. Yeah, I could have just seen a little bit more of the drag race community here. I definitely like that they, blew out all their big names. They brought everyone who loves RuPaul, who loves this production company, who really appreciates what World of Wonder can do. I get that. I like that. I could have just seen, honestly, the whole cast. I did not need to see a cis hetero person in this film. I needed drag queens. I needed trans people. I needed over-the-top characters, just because it just, like, where was Kylie Sonique Love? Where was, I don't know, Willow Pill? Where was any of the other queens that could have been here? I mean, Monet Exchange is here, but for 0.5 seconds, I could have used more Monet. Where was Jinx? Why is Jinx going to slum it up here? Jinx is over there on Broadway being an Oh Mary. She ain't going to do Stop That Train. But again, I like what's here. I think what's good. I could have just seen a bit more of the drag race community being invited here. I appreciate the celebrities that all made an effort to make this feel legit. But again, I could have seen with World of Wonder, with RuPaul, with our good queens that are here, even more queens could have just made this even better. But who knows, maybe Stop That Train 2 would have more. Look, if you do not like RuPaul's Drag Race, if a mini challenge rolls your eyes, if you cannot stand Rats the Rusical, this isn't going to be for you. Avoid it like the plague. But if you can handle something goofy, something over the top, something that doesn't take itself too seriously, then I think Stop That Train is going to be the best fit for you. This had me cackling for the whole hour and a half that it was. It's easy, in and out, simple fun. We need that. Like, so many comedy movies even nowadays want to have a plot to this big thing, and I'm like, no, I don't need anything. A train is heading to a storm. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, and that's what this movie knew it needed to be. It didn't try to overdo it. It's a simple, easy comedy that brings me back to the 90s parodies that I quite enjoyed. So what do you guys think of this movie? If you've seen Stop That Train, what are your thoughts? Share them down in the comments below. What's your favorite gag? Who's your favorite drag queen that appears in this film? I want to know. Also, guys, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to Flickering Myth for more videos like this, and let's talk about Stop That Train right down below.